All right. So here we are. Just got Photoshop open. By the way, if you would like to reset Photoshop to its default settings, just in case you're using somebody else's computer, make sure to hold down Alt Control Shift while you in the welcome window, in that loading window that appears at the beginning. All right, but here is the actual workspace that you would like to have handy, and I believe this is the best one. It's going to help you out when creating custom brushes. First thing, we're going to look at our brush settings, brushes, navigator, color, swatches, layers, and actions. Now here are the main, and history right here. Here are the main panels, these are called panels, that we're going to be using here today. If you're missing any one of those, you can go into Window, and you can find them here. History, layers, navigator, brush settings, and brushes. Click. Step number one, let's open a Photoshop file. So, File, Control New, and we're going to be creating a 500 pixel by 500 pixel, so the orientation doesn't matter because it's going to be a perfect rectangle. Resolution 150, and this is going to be our setup for our first brush. You may put a name if you wish. I'm going to leave it as some title for now. Create. Now, I'm working on my background layer. Why don't we create a new layer? Layer 1. And now let's draw something simple. Simple and easy, something anybody can do. Let's do a heart. There you go. Pretty simple. Maybe that heart has an arrow going through it. Okay, something simple. So let's just say we would like to create a brush out of this image. Tell you what, let's go ahead and add a little ribbon too. Okay, now I like that. And maybe it has wings. Nah, too much. We'll keep it like that. Okay, I would like to make a brush out of this. Plain and simple. I can merge my layers here, both of them. And if you go right here, click, notice I select them both first, and then I do flatten image. So that's my background now, and I can go into edit, define brush preset. Let's go ahead and call it heart underscore brush. Okay, yeah, here we go. Now let's test it. Let's create file, new. Let's do a bigger canvas. We can go into the print section, and the letter size is okay, 8.5 by 11. Orientation, let's do landscape. Resolution 300, create. Here we go. I can use it as a stamp, as you guys can see here, or as a brush. I can change the size, make it real big, or I can make it real small. Simple, simple, very easy. Now I can also change the color. Let's do it on red. There we go. Okay, that's enough. What if we would like to, and all I'm doing right now is just deleting my canvas. I'm gonna work in layers so it's easier. At this point, I can also manipulate how the brush behaves. Let's take a closer look of that. Go into your brush settings. Over here, you would see a lot of different options that we can play with. We can play with the size. So here's the current size. You can make that bigger or smaller. You can flip it. Let's see how that works. So here's one. Oops. One. And then we can flip it on the X. Hang on. This is messing me up. There we go. Flip on X. We can flip on Y, or we can leave it normal. We can change the angle. Let's go ahead and switch that a little bit. All I'm doing is clicking and dragging where it says angle, and this will give me access to a slider. So I think you guys get the idea. Let's set that back to 0. Roundness. Right now it's 100%, but maybe we want it to be squished. Set it back to 100. You can play with that. Spacing. Now notice how the new stroke preview is changing. So therefore, we can have a few of them, or have many of them. Or have them almost spread out even further. Or make it into a solid continuous stroke. For now, I think I'm gonna leave it kind of like that. We're just experimenting, so everything you do at this point is fine. Now from the brush tip shape, we're gonna jump into the shape dynamics. Size jitter. And you guys again can see in the little preview how would that change. So that's that. One cool feature though, here you would see control right below, and if you click in that drop down menu, you would see other options. Fade. Let's see how that looks. It's kind of literally fading away, especially in this area. Let's do pen pressure. This is the one I would recommend because I'm actually using a Wacom tablet for this particular demo, and so you can press real hard on your tablet and get different stroke variations, or you can do it very lightly. The less pressure, the smaller it gets. The higher the pressure, the larger it gets. Let's leave it at pen pressure. Minimum diameter, how big or how small you would see it at the end of that stroke. Angle, you can angle it too, it's kind of fun too. You can make it a little bit more random. You can even decrease roundness jitter. Anyways, you can flip the jitter. You can see it there. Projection. So it has a bunch of options. Here's what I would suggest at this point. Go ahead and take a moment just to experiment. Each one of these, as you guys can see, is very extensive, and it will give you a lot of different options for you to play with. So go for it. Scattering is kind of nice too. You can increase the count and the count jitter. I think this is great also to create very interesting looking textures. You can even add texture to your brush, and you can play with that stuff. You can add a different brush to the current brush that you have, and you certainly may select it here. This one is kind of interesting, color dynamics. This one will blend on your color shapes, whatever colors you have there, together. into the one stroke. So let's give that a go. Instead of white, let's use more of a orange there. Let's increase the jitter, the hue, certainly saturation. Let's see how this works. All right, here we go. Very colorful. So it almost gives us, if you zoom in, so it's giving us the orange that we want as well as the red. And the cool thing is that it's giving us every single color in between. So you see tones of pink, very bright yellow, and very saturated red. It's kind of nice. The awesome thing about it is that, remember, you have all the freedom here to work with that. That was color dynamics. Then you have transfer, edges, make them look a little wet, almost allowing that color to blend in a little. All right, I'm having too much fun over here. Let's move on to the next thing. As you guys just saw, you're able to not only create your own custom brush, but also to manipulate your custom brush by going to the brush settings. If you were to go into your brushes panel, you would see your own brush that you just created right there, right towards the end. You can also access your brushes if you right click on your canvas. Now, if the thumbnail view here, you can also change that too if you wish. If you go into this little gear towards the corner, you can go into brush tip and it will show you how that actually looks. There's mine there. But let's say you don't want to see the name, then you can click that off. And same thing with the stroke. And now we get this view where it's only showing us the brush tip. And you can manipulate that however you want. Okay, what I would like you to do now is go ahead and create your own custom brush using these instructions. You can create a heart looking thing like mine, or you can go with whichever symbol you would like. This is going to be our very first custom brush, our graphic brush. Right, have fun.